Hello, I'm hiding behind a tree, but welcome to another weird episode of going to weird places and opening stupid things. I've come to the middle of a woodland, yes, woodland, at a place called Worsley Woods to open another pretentious box of rubbish. And it should be good fun, although I must admit I've cheated a teeny tiny little bit because I've actually combined two job lots into one. Because there wasn't much in the first one, but then there might have been more than I've realised, and it may now end up being a really long video when it should only be a long video. But who cares? It's nice out here, isn't it? Shall we, let's get started, before my camera falls out of that very precariously placed tree. Well, here we are. Yeah. I would have gone into the woods, but it involves another 2 or 3 miles of walking to get around this lovely little stream in front of me, which last time I came here was much smaller than this, and all these new trees weren't here. But yes, we're looking at a job lot, and as I've already admitted, it's 2 job lots placed into one. And the interesting thing is it comes in a Matchbox carry case from a very long time ago. The Matchbox Lesney. I'm once again leaning quite a long way, and this one is not in good condition at all. You watch me now drop it into the bloody stream. That'll be awful. Oh yes, it's a carry case, and inside, oh, there's some stuff written on the bottom. So look at that. Matchbox is a registered trademark of whatever the heck that is. Lesney of Lesney Products and Company Limited, London, England, 1978. Lesney Product Corporation. Monterey NJ07074, Carton. And the copyright of the artwork as well, which is a year later. The artwork of this lovely lorry. Oh, yes. What I've done is I've actually combined 2 job lots into one, which I shouldn't have done, but I have done. So this video might end up being super long. So the first cars we're probably going to end up getting will most likely be newer cars, and then the older cars will come along as we sort of move along from that point, if that makes sense. At least that's the way I'm expecting, but the job lots appear to have actually been mixed up a bit, so I think we'll just go through them and maybe change location. But here's the first thing we get to look at. It's Percy. Hello. Now, we managed to get Thomas from the same line, Earl. This one's been in water, can you tell? And now we got Percy. And I've actually got a couple of other ones knocking around my house as well. So starting to get the idea that these might... I'm going to start collecting these for no reason whatsoever. I mean, the axles are a bit knackered on this one. But yes, it's Percy, and he's green. And he will... If I put him down, I'll never find him again because I just won't be able to see him in this lot. But yeah, Percy. There you go, Percy. I mean, they're very good and reliable, decent toys from a time period that everybody sort of likes. You know, everybody who's my sort of age will be aware of what these toys are. Maybe not so much this one. I mean, if you look at it from the top, it gives away a very sort of recent, modern sort of toy. But then you look at the wheels and it's like, oh, this is quite old. Which was my original thought when I picked it up just now. And it's got a bonnet that opens and lowers. And it's still there. It's very nicely conditioned, actually. I mean, there's a little bit of paint marking on the sides, the highlights. The wheels are a bit naff, but the rest of it is actually in surprisingly good condition. I don't like it very much, but it's in very nice condition. What is it? It is a... I've already looked at this, I know. A 1979, I knew that. Matchbox, an S7 Chevy. That's pretty nice, actually. Nicer than I was expecting it to be. I liked it when they did these little things as well. The doors opening were always my favourite, but that's pretty cool. I would have liked that as a kid, and it's older than I thought it was. How about this one? We have a thing. It's actually this is a 1984 Caravan Dodge from 1983 or 1964, not 1984. It's Matchbox. It's a bit older than I thought. It's also missing a door. Obviously had some kind of sliding or opening action, and the door has been ripped off. So we're going to assume this is like that drive-through video where they moon the shop and then drive away really quickly and the door is removed. Insert video here.
Drive. You lost the door to the car.
No. Or don't and stare at the camera for a long period of time not doing anything. I quite like that. Again, besides the door missing, its paintwork is really good. I wonder if the door's actually in this box still. That would be a bit awkward. But no, I like that. We've started off quite strong with some decent things. Now let's bring it down a level with this pit stop. It's got a dog on it. got like a dead robotic pit bull with Hot Wheels written on it that you can't see because it's not focusing. Very bad front, massive wheels at the front, small wheels at the back. Malaysia to Dodge. I don't know what year is it. Did it actually say what year this monstrosity is from? No. Now that's peculiar. There's no year printed on the bottom of this as far as I can tell, but it's abysmal and disgusting and I hate it. Because it's got those big stupid wheels. And here's another one with big stupid wheels. Which I'm once again assuming is going to be from the same job lot. I said there's two mixed in here because I'm a bad boy. An old 442 Malaysia. I mean, that's the Hot Wheels logo, the kind of fire, but Hot Wheels isn't written on this one. That's really kind of interesting because normally they write on here that, you know, it's Hot Wheels, but it's not on here. It's just Malaysia and the Hot Wheels logo. I'm sure that's a Hot Wheels logo. That's very peculiar. I mean, I don't like it at all. It's another one with massive wheels, and as you already know, I'm not a fan of ones with massive wheels like this one. This one's a little more passable because it's like, you know, it's like an ice exploration race car, big ice wheels. That's sort of fair enough, but I still don't like it. Why has it got 34? Oh, it's 3A1. I thought it was 34 in one. Stickers are worn. Is this is Matchbox? Wasn't expecting that. This is also incredibly hard to make out anything on. 2007 Mattel Matchbox. Burger King. Oh, it's a Burger King toy. Oh. Huh. I never realised that Burger King did a line similar to the way that Hot Wheels used to do. That's a new piece of information for me. And the more you know, don't like it regardless. I mean, I think I prefer the McDonald's toys that have appeared so far. But what can you do? Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. We got to look at that one in a minute. Anyway. Let's take this one up. Now, I looked at it and I thought it's a kind of new one again, much like I did with this one. But having a quick look at the bottom, no, it's not. Now, those wheels are interesting because this one is labelled up as 1982 on the bottom. Now, Matchbox, 1982... 1982 Corvette, blah, 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 blah. But the wheels are very much not the design that Matchbox received at that sort of time. I mean, you can see there's super fast sort of line of wheels or more like that. So to have one with different wheels is actually kind of interesting. And it's not a terrible car either. It's quite nicely detailed. Again, its condition is much better than I would have ever given it credit for. Much better than anything I had that survived, as you've seen all those videos. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. But yeah, no, that's quite a nice car. Can't fault that one too much. What about this one? Can we fault this one? We probably can, but let's have a look at it first. Firstly, it's very scratched, and you can't really see the inside. But to have a car that covers pretty much the entirety of the top in plastic is actually kind of interesting. It's very much a sort of bubble car dome design that was popular in the 70s, just made in 1998. I'm looking at these before I bring them out, so I don't know why I'm pretending I don't know what they are. But yeah, I don't actually hate that as much as I thought I would when I first pulled it out of the box. I bet when it gets filled with water, it becomes interesting. It's a tiny little aquarium car. And it's got a dinosaur on the side. Is that a dinosaur? Looks like a dinosaur. Yeah, that's a pterodactyl of sorts, which isn't actually a dinosaur. That's a kind of flying reptile, but that's just gone up an awful lot because it has a flying reptile dinosaur thing in it, and so that one wins the competition. Now, we've seen a lot of these, but we haven't, if that makes sense. We've seen a lot of these. It's a Model Ford T, a Bird's Custard original flavour Model Ford T. But it's not the kind of standard design. It's not the one with the super fast wheels. It's got these very thin wheels. It is Matchbox. It's upside down, so I'm just going to flip it the right way. 1921 Ford T. It's copyright to 1989. I have to put it away to look at it. There. It's copyright to 1989, so that's kind of interesting to see these wheels on it. I assume they were going for a more sort of, oh, look at us, we're all realistic and very good toy cars, ha 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 ha. But I don't really like it. In fact, I'm very much tempted to kind of chuck it in the lake, but I suppose I better not, because that would just be mean and unusual and cruel. And okay, there are more cars in here than I had originally given credit for. This is going to be a bit of a pain to go through. Ooh, wow, I've never seen one of those before. Right, but enough of that, because I'm now looking at this. This is the Ballast. Yes, look at it. It's got a chrome engine on the front, or a chrome bonnet. It's got the ability to fall out of my hands into the grass and dirt, even though it's more just kind of moss and plants here. It's got a driving seat. It's got a thing on the back. It's got an actual fuel tank thing. It's got wheels. It's 2001. Yeah, it's you know, it says ballast there, so I assume it's called the ballast. I'll move my finger so you can see. I can't do much with this hand when it comes to details because, as you may know, I screwed my hand up. Yeah, it's all right actually. From Hot Wheels carved. I'm not very interested in these sort of designs. You know, I like my realistic ones. That one's all right. Couldn't complain too much. I pulled this one out just now, thinking it was one that we'd already seen before, the Majori lorry that we've had, an SO one, and the one missing, but it's not. It's actually an unbranded lorry. It just has made in China. Kind of interestingly enough, sort of scribbled off there. You can just sort of make out near the front axle where it says MA, and the rest has been sort of rubbed off. I don't really know if you can see that here. You might be able to. Well, regardless, it's missing whatever's meant to be on there, so, or a trailer of sorts. In fact, actually, it might be a trailer. Tow. Maybe it was for this. Sorry, something just dropped right next to me, and I'm in the middle of a wood, so God knows what it is. Maybe it was the trailer for this, where you kind of put, yeah, there we go, that's what it's supposed to be. I have no idea if the actual wheels are on there, so we'll go looking for that. But there we go. I forgot to bring the lead-in tow. That's the tow. The good cars get to go on there and get towed away at the end of the day. Oh, Lord. Maybe, just maybe, Postman Pat will be amongst them and his little black cat. Oh, isn't he adorable? Postman Pat is one of those guys that's just been around for way too long. I like the fact the stickers are kind of different on each side. I mean, this is Earl, the same sort of line that did the Percy, you know, Earl. I've actually got one of these. I own the bus. This is 1983 for Woodlands Animation, 1983. 139 for you. I've got the train from Thomas the Tank Engine, not the train, the bloody bus, because, you know, buses. It's kind of nice. I like these. I especially like the way the stickers are done because they just add a lot more character to the vehicle. So that's actually definitely a keeper because it's quite nice. Now, what point are we at? We're about halfway through at the moment, maybe. So let's do 3 more, which I'm going to pull out at random now. Right, I've got 3 more. I'm going to close the box and I'm going to change location after this. Oh, I pulled out one that I actually want to look at. That's real nice. Right, we'll put those there. And we'll start with this one, which is going to be a Hot Wheels. Look at the wheels, you can just tell. It's a disaster rescue network, da-da-da-da, with a cracked front, cracked scratch, something front. I mean, it's a pickup truck, it's got stuff in the back, it's got a pair of flippers in the back, some rope, a canister of some kind. Yeah, Hot Wheels, oh, 1982. That's actually an awful lot older than I gave it credit for. I was expecting this to be a sort of late 90s model, but no, this is an early 80s. We're getting some good stuff again. I mean, as I pointed out, I think it was Road Warrior actually pointed out, the oldest one that I have is that yellow one upstairs in the bag of toss that I actually need to sort out and put into storage properly now. So I've sorted everything else out more or less, but I haven't sorted these ones out. But this is actually quite a nice toy. Yeah, that's good. Can't complain about that. Right, we'll look at this one next because it's fallen off. It's number 35. It's a racing car of some kind. It's very much kind of precursor. I know Hot Wheels are around at this point. But very much kind of precursor to the Hot Wheels designs of just kind of silly billy, super duper. Look at these cars and super fast wheels. Early super fast wheels, delicious. Now we've got it's a Roller-Matics. Well, 1975 Leslie. What? Fandingo. Yep, this car's called Fandingo. Okay, that's fantastic. Now I'm going to assume that. Yeah, there we go. So when you roll it, it's come on. There you go. It's that bit that spins around. That's actually one of the few Roller-Matics I have where the action continues to work quite well. I was going to do that off camera for a second. Yeah, it doesn't work off camera. Oh, it does. It works a little bit off camera, but not much. Yeah, I haven't really got a problem with that. It's not my kind of toy design, but I bet it'd be quite fun. Look at all the dirt in the wheels. But it'd be quite fun if you ran it for a track. And finally, this is one that I was actually going to go on eBay and look for specifically, but it's appeared instead because it's very similar to the Volkswagens that we've been running in the past. You know, the silver one we had and the green one, it's my favourite toy car. It's a very similar kind of boxy design. I'm very fond of it. It is a Renault, same sort of years, 1979, a Renault 5 litre, made in England, super fast. Leslie, quite pleased to get that, and it's got its tow hook, which will be important later, having had a quick look in the box. It's also got the action feature of its boot that opens, and the boot is there and made of plastic, whereas everything else isn't. So that's quite nice. I'm pleased to get my hands on one of these. In, again, not terrible condition, all things considered. Most of the ones that have come out of this actual Matchbox container, in fact, most of them have come out, have actually been in very good condition for what they are, and I'm quite pleased. Anyway, we're about halfway through now, so I think now is a very good time to change locations. So I'm going to do some magic tricks and... Oh, goodness gracious. The things I do for YouTube are really quite normal for average people. Now, do we go left? Or do we go... Wait, no. Do we go right? Or do we go left? I'm really good at this, aren't I? Brilliant. Did you know that all swans are owned by the Queen because she's very, very greedy, and it's very, very illegal to kill and eat a swan, which is something I kind of want to do just to try eating swan. They're very nice though, aren't they? Even if they're complete dicks. Also, there's a swell there, which means there's just been a fish here. I used to go fishing on this lake. Mind you, I'm getting distracted now from what I should be doing. You know, this lake isn't almost as accessible as it used to be. I don't think it's used as a fishing lake anymore. Used to be, not anymore. But I appear to have found one of the old swims, and I think that's where we're gonna be going. I appear to have spooked the ducks. They don't like me very much. Can't really blame them, but I think this is a nice place to stay. And here we are in place number 2, and I accidentally cut the video for some reason. Woohoo! That wasn't meant to rhyme, but now we're at the lakeside, fishing lake I used to fish on. In fact, if you look actually by that set of reeds over there, you can just see 2 metal pipes sticking out where there used to be a boardwalk for fishermen. So obviously this is not a fishing lake anymore. It used to be. There's a fishing lake right across the way as well. So that might well be it. But let's crack straight on. We're starting with this, a Corgi Fire Truck Juniors thing. It's I think it's a Juniors. Yeah, Corgi Juniors. It's an Erie fire tender, so does that mean Irish? Irish fire tender? Missing its ladder. Not in bad condition though, and you know, it's got the Corgi working wheels, which I still find quite wondrous to have Corgi toys with wheels that work. You know, I find that quite interesting. Oh, it's patent pending. Patent pending 298/217. That's a good patent, that is. Patent or patent? Patent or patent? Who knows? Who cares? But what we do care about is that wind, which is going to cause quite a lot of distraction on the camera. I think we're just going to have to move this box here. There we go. That should stop the wind. God, I'm not very good at this, am I? That's the only problem with this sort of thing. I've got stuff positioned all around to try and stop the wind blowing, and I have no idea if it's going to work. I mean, hell, the box now is here, so I suppose it's off camera still. Talking about that, let's crack on to something that we've had plenty of times, but this one is amazing. Here is a Corgi wrecker's truck. We've had 3 of these now, 2 in this design, maybe 3 in this design, and 1 in another. The amazing thing is it has its rear wheel, its rear thing, and its wheels actually turn. In fact, looking at it, it's actually in surprisingly good condition. If you look here under this wheel, it appears there's actually still a bit of tape that you might find in the factory. So that's remarkable. That's really nice. And actually getting one of these with everything on goes to show that, yeah, this is actually a very, very nice toy. Oh, gosh, no. No, stop. Sorry about that. It's actually a very nice toy. I don't really think the hooking action works, but yes, major approval for this. I'm pleased to finally have one that's in good condition, and I will strive to keep it in good condition because that's actually really nice. You know what I'm like, I don't tend to go for the ones that are in good condition, but that's one that's drawn my liking. It's like a Model 4T, you know, it's like one of those Model 4Ts, but it's an actual car, so it's not as, you know, hateful or terrible or anything. It's got your typical front bumpers, which are really common with these kind of things when you find bumpers that just get bent because kids. This is a 1979 Matchbox, made in England. Does it actually say what it is? It's a Model A Ford. So that's a Model T, and this is a Model A. The difference being this one carries people, and that one carries birds custard. I don't dislike that as much as the actual Ford Model T models that you get. I can actually tolerate that. It won't be going anywhere useful, but I can tolerate that as a not terrible thing. Right, seen one of these before. Oh, there's the wind, there's the wind. Please don't be too noisy on the camera. Please not be noisy on the camera, but it will be. It's got Corgi written on the front of it. It's in blue. The other one, no, we haven't had one of these actually. We've had one on the same chassis. It was a crane. It was a crane on this chassis, but we haven't had the dump truck. Same chassis though, you know, Corgi dumper truck, Corgi Juniors, made in Great Britain. So all right, it's still there. Again, everything coming out of this box is actually in surprisingly good condition. I'm quite pleased. In fact, I'm genuinely quite pleased to be getting so much stuff in good condition. We're going to put that one there just temporarily. He doesn't mean he's going on there. But now we're going to look at a choo-choo train. Yeah. I immediately like this just because it actually has a working action for a piston on a train. I mean, it's a terrible train. It's corgi, unsurprisingly. There are people walking by. I must be quiet, except I'm not going to be. It's corgi. Corgi is not interesting, except they are. But yeah, liking is good. We like toy trains. That's actually a very nice one. In regards to toy trains, not something I ever particularly pick up, but that's a good one. Full-on approval. And if you compare it to its rival, the same sort of time period, Matchbox, because there's one of those in here. let's just get these three out of the way, because these are all Matchbox. These ones are the same. Obviously, they just have slightly different colour designs. They are pretty much the same though. Different colour designs, different stickers. This one's broken at the front, as you can see. It's obviously had some kind of very horrific collision. These ones are very 70s, I think they were. They came out in sets. I've been looking at buying one of the sets because they're quite cheap. They're about 30 quid for a set, but they're not as nice as the corgi one. Like, they're just not. The only problem with the corgi one, looking at it, is the wheels not in alignment. So running on a track would actually be a pain in the backside, and that would be because of the way that this is designed. But hey, what can you do? It's a trio of trains, and the corgi one is the best. And here comes a dog. And as the people are leaving with the dogs, a pair of swans or swanettes have joined us. If you look at them, you can see that they've got ever so slightly. In fact, let's just move the camera and actually do this. Here we go. But a nature documentary right here. As you can see, they've still got brown on them. Oh, I apologise for the shaky. Indicating that they're still fairly young, but just reaching the sort of adult maturity stage. I don't know much about the development of swans. Just realised I put my finger over the bloody microphone, didn't I? I don't know much about the maturity and way that swans grow. I know pigeons, for example, are fully ready to go as adults in about 30 odd days. Don't know if it's the same for swans, so these could be 30 days old or they could be 60 days old. As you can see, they have basically left mother and father. They came over when a load of people came over, assuming they were going to be fed. Don't feed swans bread, it's very bad for them. But yeah, very nice to see a pair of swans that don't want to murder you because they're overtly aggressive, especially in breeding season. Although the father, or the mother, is all the way over there, so we're quite safe for the moment in time. But yes, how about we go back to the topic in hand? This camera has been moved around and frozen more than any other video just because I'm sitting in quite a popular place, so people keep coming by. And here's another train. It's another Matchbox train. We didn't even look at the other ones, but they're all Matchbox, besides the corgi one. This one is a diesel-based shunter, 1495 RF, number 5. He runs something fairly similar at the quarry that comes near me, and it always goes across the road just as I'm coming on the bus, and it's really annoying, so I don't like trains, go away. But it's a train. There are plenty of trains. I mentioned Majori when I was talking about this lorry, and here is a Majori lorry. It's a Mercedes. And you can tell it's Majori because it's got the wheels on it, and I looked on the bottom because I saw it, and it's really quite small. I mean, if we compare it to this Matchbox police tow truck, you can see that there's a slight scale difference here, because I can assure you that the British trucks, which this is based on, and the French ones as well, are quite a bit larger. But there's this one. It's here. I've got one of these. It was my ex's brother's. It's in very poor condition, but I actually have it, and so now I've got one that's in good condition. In fact, that's in very good condition, all things considered. That's a 1981 Peterbilt, which seems to be on the bottom of all these kinds of lorries. It's not the first Peterbilt we've had, but yeah, no, it's a police truck. It's got both its tow truck things, arms. It's here. It's all there. Its axles are fine. There's a lot of really good condition models coming out of this job lot, and then there's not so good condition models coming out of this job lot. Oh, this one's interesting. When I went ooh earlier on, that's because I was looking at it, and it's because I haven't got one of these. Because it's Citroen C35, made by Azil, EISI. Oh, I think we have actually. Yes, the two boxed ones, of which I accidentally broke the box of one. It was made by this company by the looks of it. It's a Citroen C35, it's got a slide. It's missing a door. I'm going to assume that there was a very evil man inside, and he blew the door off with the pure evilness radiating from him and escaped from the French police, who kind of chased after him going, wah, 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 wah. Oh God, jokes at the French expense are just not fair. The French are lovely people, except for the French. How's about this one? It's a race car, it's a Formula 1 car. It's got a little bit of chrome engine, it is die-cast, it had a sticker on there which appears to have gone missing at some point. Didn't actually appear to have any detail on it though. It's got a very cheap kind of vibe to it. But it's interesting because it's like a branded knockoff Brandy. Come on, focus. There we go. It's a Branham. Yeah, it's a Branham PT46 Alfa Romeo, made in Hong Kong with detailing on the bottom. So it's obviously got some age to it. There's no years on it, unfortunately. So I don't know when. I'd say it's probably 80s, early 90s, mid 80s, possibly. Could be older. But it's a brand knockoff. I mean, I refer to them as knockoffs. They're not knockoffs because they're not copying Matchbox or Hot Wheels or anything like that. They're doing their own design, but they're doing it cheaply. Probably one of the ones that came in a massive job lot, and it's quite nice. I can't actually fault this one at all. For a kind of cheapy Chinese one, or in this case Hong Kong, it's very nice. I'm just going to quickly get this one out the way. Oh look, it's another diesel train. Choo-choo. I've had enough of these. I hope there's no more in this box. I'm actually going to look through now. No more trains in this box. We do have one of these though, which I think we've had something very similar. Toyman. Yes, maybe I should change my name to be Toyman. Maybe I should change the channel name from Ekron to Toyman. That might not actually be a bad idea, because all I do is look at toy cars and play terrible video games, which in themselves are a form of weird toy. Those swans are still hanging around, but they're over there on the right now. Yeah, it's quite nice. A bit more worn out in this one, but again, most of the toy cars come out of here in surprisingly good condition. I'm quite pleased. This is the D/174 Pro. Maybe I should change my name to Toyman D/174 Pro. Oh God, I'm getting terrible ideas now. Matchbox Dodge Challenger 1975. Again, good condition. A lot of these are coming out in really nice condition. I mean, look at that. You look at that. You know, I'm looking for other ones that are in really nice condition, because they are there. I just can't see them right now because they're buried under things. You know, look at that. They're coming out in good nick, these ones. This one not quite so because it's missing things. But again, just looking at the body and the paintwork in general on this Corgi ERF. Oh, we've already had an ERF engine. It's a different one. This is obviously a kind of, you know, it's supposed to have a box on the top where a man goes in to rescue people because they're burning to death, but now it's just a anti-aircraft gun, anti-train gun. Hi swans. Hello swans. You can't have these. You don't want these, trust me. I wish I had something to feed you now. Yeah, this one is a Simon Snorkel fire engine. Seriously, that's what it's called, the Simon Snorkel fire engine, made in Great Britain. A whiz wheels. It's a whiz wheels. That would make sense as to why the wheels are larger and of a slightly different design to the other fire engine, which I'm going to try and dig out now from this pile. Where is he? Where is he? Is he still in my pocket? Is he still? Well, oh, there he is. I was about to say, I appear to have left him behind. The wheels are actually about the same size, but they are a different design. I thought we'd left it behind, but apparently not. But yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Now we get to look at this, and I'm quite pleased to get one of these because once again, bollocks. We don't have many towable items, and this is a caravan. Everybody knows that you have to hate caravans if you're on the road because they're always buggers. Unfortunately, its axles are buggered, but the worst thing is the tow hook is broken. This would have been quite a nice caravan back in the day. Like if you had this as a holiday home, this would have been quite nice. But unfortunately, as you can see, it's not in a condition that can be towed, which is a shame because I was hoping it would be. So we still only have the horse box as something that we could tow at this scale for demonstration, which is a shame. I don't even think there's a way I can fix that outside of like drilling a hole somewhere, and that will just ruin it. Mind you, it's not exactly in great condition now. So this is going to be one of those ones that you find at car boot sales. That's kind of just sitting in the field all the time, not doing anything. Oh, talking about horse boxes, I was about to put this one in and dismiss it very, very quickly as the same Majori one we've had before as a Bedford, but it's not. Now, it seems to be exactly the same design, but it's actually a Matchbox, 1977. And again, looking at how old it is, 1977. Look, its paintwork is pretty much immaculate. Whoever's owned these probably put them in the container box and then just left them for 30 years. Put them on eBay for a fairly decent price. I mean, I paid a bit more than I might pay normally for a job lot. I had plans this weekend that involved this particular job lot, but it doesn't matter. because they're really, really nice condition. God, there's going to be loads to go on here, and I'm not going to be able to get any of the ones I actually want to put on. Home fire for open fires. Home fire for open fires. Home fire for open fires. It's quite nice. Corgi, Ford Capri, 303 or 300S, something like that. Quite a nice car, and once again in very good condition. No year on the bottom of this one, just made in Great Britain. So we're going to assume it's in the 90s. This one, late 80s, early 90s. Very heavy design. Very heavy design actually. There's a lot more metal there, especially as you see it sort of overlaps the plastic body here. That's a very nice car, and once again, I'm going to say it, very nice condition. Now this one I recognise as a Hot Wheels. Oh, I thought this might be a bit older than it was, but it's not. Here's a Hot Wheels car that's a very Hot Wheels car. It's like that pizza one I pulled out from the charity shop, which was 1982, which I originally said was the oldest one I had, but it wasn't. But it's not. This one is 1996, it says on the bottom there somewhere. I've actually got it turned upside down. There you go. The date is here. You might not be able to see that. 1996 China, and it is the salt flat racer. So the idea of this one is you race on salt flats because you're a moron and you're going to die in a horrible, painful car accident because you're driving on salt flats way too fast. That has actually happened to people. We're rushing through to get to the end now because we haven't got many cars left, and I just realised how long this Bally video has gone on for. So here is a combine harvester. I've got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. And it's even got this thing that, you know, it's offshoot thing that puts it into the trailer with the truck. Who made this? Oh, it's Matchbox. Oh, I thought it was Corgi. Matchbox combine harvester 1977. Again, very nice condition for how bally old it is. I was going to throw one of these cars in the lake, but I don't, well, just for good measure, even though that's really a bad idea, but I don't want to do it now just because they're all coming out in really nice nick. And yes, this video has dragged on for far too long. We're only almost half an hour long, making it one of the longest ones we've done, which is why we're now rushing to the end. Oh, here's a car that's not quite in so good nick. It's a fire engine with a ladder that goes up but not around, and as you can see, somebody has eaten the end of the fire ladder, which I don't blame them for. That's the kind of thing I would have done as a kid. I suppose it's still on there. This is a Blaze... come on, sorry. This is a Blaze Buster. Made in Leslie, number 22, 1975. So, like the Fire Chief car we have at home, this is probably from the same sort of lineup because it's got that very kind of futuristic, a bit stupid look. What can you do? How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 cars left, of which this one we've seen before. This is the same Majori lorry we've already had, but this one is in red rather than yellow, so we'll skip that one straight away. This is... Oh, it took me a while. I thought this was the Jaguar, but it's a Bock Regal. Now, we had that really nice condition police car come out, and I think I actually have one of these in the box, like the bag of crap upstairs. We had a really nice one of these that come out in the police car with the broken lid. Well, this is quite a nice one in civilian green colours. Bock Regal, Corgi Juniors. Couldn't fault it. Quite nice to get them. If you can't tell, we're now just going through very quickly on what we have left because I want to. How's about a refuge truck with its rear end as well, so you can actually put rubbish in. Oh, I wish I'd done this one earlier when I wasn't rushing. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So, you know, let's put a bit of rubbish in there. There you go, like a kid would. Let's put some grass in there, and you get it in, squeeze it in, and then it's all in. And then when you come to unload it, you open the back end, and then you can push it out with the action feature, and it all gets stuck in there for a million years because it's grass, and that was a really bad idea. But that's quite nice, actually. That's quite a productive toy. It says caution on the back. Lift it up and then kind of push it out like a real lorry. Dump truck. That's quite nice, actually. Nicer than I was expecting it to be. It's Matchbox Super Fast Refuge Truck, number 36, year 1979. Axles are a little bit knackered on that one, and the paintwork isn't quite so good as some of the other ones, meaning it's probably had a half-decent play life. But, yeah, that's nice, that is. We're down to the last 3 now, so what we got? We have 2 Corgis and we have a Matchbox. Tell you what, let's do a Corgi Matchbox Corgi. So let's do this one. This is one of the Corgis that we have left. It won't focus. Did you hear that bang, incidentally? You may have, you may not. It depends on if my phone will pick it up. But that was the sound of an air gun. They use them to scare birds away from crops around here, rather than shoot the birds, because birds are awesome. Yeah, a bit worn out. Corgi Junior's Mercedes-Benz 2400. Mercedes-Benz. The kind of car rich people drive when they're not rich anymore. Yay. On to the Matchbox. We have, give a quick look. It's a Chevy van. Now, we've had a Chevy van before. It was that one with the big wheels that was in a sort of combine pack. Chevy van. Not much to say. It's orange. Its paint job is pretty worn. This one has been used. Well, it's not pretty worn, but it's definitely worn. You can see it's been used. 1979 Chevy van, Matchbox, super fast. Axles are once again a little bit knackered. The ones at the bottom of the box don't seem to have survived as well as the ones at the top. But all in all, not a terrible model. I prefer this to the other one because the wheels are more in sort of a realistic size, although you can still see that the rear wheels are bloody larger than the front wheels, and that really annoys me. And moving on to the last one. Now, we've had something very similar to this before. This is a Corgi. It's a Pontiac Firebird. Now, we've had a Pontiac Firebird before. It was a Matchbox one. It was in very poor condition. This one is Schweppes soft drinks with the mark on the front, which actually, looking at it, I really don't want to touch that. So this car's getting a good clean when I get home. Hello, Swans. It's all right. Paint job's once again quite worn. So if we already looked at the bottom, it's just a Corgi. Yeah. Oh, was that a year in the bottom corner? Yes, there's a year in the bottom corner. Can't really make it out. 1982. Had to actually look at that. So yes, that's quite an old car. And once again, besides that foreboding stain, that's quite nice. So there we go. 2 job lots put into one. And I'm not even going to try and put them on the trailer because I can't get there. But yeah, probably shouldn't have combined the two, but I'm kind of pleased I did because it did give us an interesting setup and look at different things. Some of them were in really, really much better condition than I thought they would be. Right, well, that's all of them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that toss. That's still probably my favourite. There you go, that one goes on the truck because that's my favourite just because it's stupid. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time I decide to make a really stupid video. Bye-bye. There we go. The winners are the ones that get to sit in the bottom tray, because there's only one tray in here, and these ones are the ones that don't get to sit in the tray, including the one that's supposed to have cars on it. Oh, I didn't do that very well. There we go. Those two get to go on the trailer, but they don't get to go in the tray, which means they lose. Oh God, I'm going home before it starts raining.